Welcome back to another Chris and Ant show. We got some great topics for you. What's going on, Ant?
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. How are y'all doing today? What's up, Chris?
Oh, just hanging out here, ready to give these great people out there in the internet universe a great Chris and Ant show.
There we go.
First thing we're going to be talking about, Colorado truck driver sentenced to 110 years for an accidental crash.
My goodness.
Was it fair? We're going to talk about it.
Wow.
Matrix Resurrections, new Matrix movie coming out, or actually is out rather.
I'm super excited about this Matrix movie. We Matrix fans have been waiting for this moment for so long. We are watching it tonight. We're having a watch party at our house. I cannot wait to watch it. I have been trying to stay off the internet because I don't want to see any spoilers. I can't wait for the Matrix Resurrection.
Matrix Resurrections might be the best one yet. I guess we're going to see later tonight. Baby Yingliang, I don't know which way
how
it
you
is.
say it.
Preserved fossilized dinosaur egg found in China. Is it real? I don't know.
I don't know. It might be fake. China is always trying to do some weird things. We'll talk about what we think.
They lie in China.
And Sean P. Diddy, Puff Daddy Combs, he's buying back his Sean John brand for $7.5 million doll hairs. $7.5 million doll hairs. Sean Combs is buying back Sean John brand. Was that a smart move? We're going to talk about that too as well today. So what's up on the plate first though, Chris? What are we talking about?
Well, you skipped one. We also got Keanu Reeves.
Oh, we did.
Confirmed. You like to skip things lately.
Yeah, I do. I didn't
You're
scroll down fast enough.
Damn. Keanu Reeves
Ooh.
confirms talks with Kevin Feige about joining the MCU.
I mean,
that'll be exciting. Confirmed talks. Will it happen? Will it not? It's not a confirmed character yet, but
right. This is getting exciting. I mean, Matrix is coming out. You got Keanu Reeves talking about joining the MCU. I mean, the new Spider-Man just came out, which was a blockbuster hit. I mean, cinematics right now are on fire.
Yeah. I've been hearing nothing but great things about the Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Best Spider-Man yet, I've heard.
I still haven't seen it, unfortunately.
So, yeah, I haven't seen it yet, but hey, like we've said before, we're not big movie goers. We're definitely watching Matrix tonight,
yeah,
though.
Matrix is a must.
I'll say that, but let's start here at the beginning, and I'll let you go ahead and go first.
All right. So, Rogel Aguilera-Mederos, Colorado truck driver, was sentenced to 110 years. You heard that right, ladies and gentlemen. 110 years. After his brakes malfunctioned, he ended up crashing into 4 different vehicles. Actually, more than 4 vehicles, but 4 people passed away. 6 others were injured in the crash. But so Colorado, they're prosecuting him because the prosecutor said that Rogel Aguilera-Mederos made a bunch of bad decisions. This is what the prosecution said, and this is what the jury went with to give him 110 years. They were saying that he made a bunch of bad decisions before the accident, that he missed a runaway truck stop, that he could have made, and he was going around 85 miles an hour. Now, they probably know that because, like you said, in logistics, they have all those, tracking devices and such. So I'm sure that they knew exactly how fast he was going. So then the driver. So we'll just say what the driver said. Rogel said that he didn't know that his brakes were out. Okay, he said the brakes were smoking, but he didn't see him smoking. Other people said that they saw the brakes smoking, but he said he didn't see him smoking. He didn't know his brakes were out. He missed the runaway truck stop because he thought he had brakes, and then he ended up going onto what is that called? Onto the shoulder, trying to avoid crashes, but there was a traffic jam because of more accidents that happened, so people were piled up, and he drove onto the shoulder, but he ended up hitting some people, and then, the rest is history. I don't think that the man should get 110 years. Personally, now this is kind of insane to me because I actually have a friend or acquaintance that I used to. I'm not going to tell you how I know him because I'm just not going to put his information out there like that. But I have a friend that has 15 years right now for vehicular homicide, vehicular manslaughter. Actually, they didn't even give him homicide. He ended up driving his vehicle on the wrong way of the highway. He missed 2 vehicles, which he got 5 years for each vehicle that he missed, 5 years and 5 years for 2 vehicles that he missed. And then he got 5 years for the 3rd vehicle that he crashed into. The 3rd guy ended up passing away that he crashed. He got 5 years for that. So he got 15 years vehicular manslaughter. He was driving the wrong way on the highway. That's not premeditated, which is why I think he got manslaughter, but that's definitely he definitely did some things wrong there. Like he was driving on the wrong side of the road.
Yeah.
So it makes sense.
You're being reckless.
You're being reckless. This guy did not know his brakes were out. The truck that he was driving was not his truck. It was a Houston truck company's truck.
Oh, wow.
So he probably showed up to the job, got a truck that wasn't his, that they obviously didn't inspect correctly, started driving, the brakes go out, and there's a bunch of cars in front of you. He was driving a lumber truck, so it's packed full of lumber in the back. I mean, what in the world? If anybody should be getting talked about on this, that Houston Trucking Company should be taking all the heat for this, and I think Rogel Aguilera-Mederos, I think he should not even be able to get charged for this, honestly. And I know that some people passed away from it, which is very terrible, and hats off, prayers to the families that were affected. But this is a complete accident. I mean, it's not like it was premeditated. He didn't drive into him on purpose. Yeah. There was traffic jam. It's not like he was driving through, places where he could have, I don't know. This seems crazy to me. What do you think, bro? What do you think?
I mean, I'm right there with you. I mean, as you said, not his truck. Trucking company probably not taking. Then you should have probably inspected it yourself to look at your brakes. Now, yeah. I'm going to say that's a mistake, obviously. He's given a minimum sentence of 110 years. For 4 counts of vehicular homicide, as you said. He's got 23 other counts or charges that I believe
like
he got charged for the accident as well. And these sentences cannot be, you can't serve them at once. They have to be concurrent. So that's why it goes up to 110 years. But it's just crazy. So Colorado rule, I guess the judge said his hands were tied, and that's why he had to give him 110 years. Like, we can't be a human and discern an accident from other things. But as you said, it's terrible that people died in this accident, and I'm not completely with you. I don't think that the trucking company should be the only one that goes down for this, or that's kind of in the heat for this, because he was driving the truck. He should have checked the brakes. That's possibly, realistically in the military. We always had PMCS, preventive maintenance before, during, and after you drive a vehicle, where you have to make sure these things work. And as a truck driver with a CDL, you have 80,000, 100, whatever you have on the back of your truck. That can be very dangerous if we get in a crash, as you see here. So I don't think that they should let him off completely, but I do think that 110 years is, completely excessive. I would say maybe like 1 to 5 years, and maybe even something like that, considering brakes were faulty. It wasn't his truck. I mean, he's going 85 miles an hour, so maybe he's speeding, but it's also downhill.
He could have been going 85. It had to have been going downhill if there was a truck. He didn't have brakes, though.
But still, you don't. So you don't necessarily speed up if you're, you got to be going 85.
If you're going downhill,
if you're driving at 55. But that's the thing, is if you pass truck stops, I'd have to think you were going downhill. So that could have been why
those runaway truck lanes, right?
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, you were probably in a mountainous area or something.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Is that could have been why he was going 85. He could have been driving, 50 or 55, whatever the speed limit is, and then because he didn't have brakes and because he was going down a rather large hill
with a heavy load,
that would need a runaway truck stop, with a big load, he could have got to 85. So, to me, it sounds like a bunch of unfortunate events that lined up. I don't think that he should serve 110. As I said, I think that maybe 1 to 5 years is what he should, get. 4 people died in it. That's terrible.
Like
And I feel
110
sorry for their
years.
family, but I don't know. Do you think that someone else's family, let's say that, they had another son or something that did this, do they think that if their son did that, would he deserve 110? I'm not sure that those 4 people that passed, their family would think that because of these circumstances.
And
maybe they do, though.
And think about this, Chris.
I don't want to speak for him, but maybe
Think about this, Chris. We have a brother right now that has a CDL.
Right. Yeah, that's true.
If he went and worked for a company and was going through every legal action that I could to make sure that justice was served for my brother, because I would not feel like that is grounds for honestly, I just don't feel like that's I don't know, it's a complete accident. People get in accidents all the time where people pass and nobody even gets charged because it's an accident.
Right.
You know what I'm
that's
saying?
Kind of what I'm saying is
it's crazy that this accident in 110 years. I feel like there's been serial killers that have less than 110 years.
Yeah, that's exactly where I was going
like,
next with this is,
what?
since then, there's been an online petition signed by over 4 million people.
I signed it, by the way. I signed that petition.
I probably am going to as well.
Yeah.
By over 4 million people that, want the sentence to be reduced. And there's also truckers across Colorado that are saying that they're not going to drive through the state of Colorado, which would be absolutely detrimental.
That would
to
kill that would
their economy. If their truck drivers stop moving in Colorado, that's a big deal. So truck drivers are mad because they look at this as, hey, we are delivering the goods. We're the bloodline, the source to America, essentially. And, maybe a lot of people don't look at them like that, but that's the truth.
They're
delivering
definitely
the goods. They're delivering the food. They're
all your
delivering
Amazon packages, all your medicines, all your foods, all your oils, your gasoline for your vehicle. Literally everything comes off of a boat or off of a plane and then has to be trucked to most places. Even if they put it on a train, they usually have to take it off the train and put it on a truck.
Right. It's hitting a truck.
It's hitting a truck probably most of the time.
So 4 million people signed it.
Man.
As you said, I feel like there's been murderers and there's been rapists that have been given less time for their crimes,
way less time
than this 26-year-old working.
I think he's
trucker.
24 or 26.
He's 26, I think, maybe 26? Now, maybe 24 when it happened or something. But all he was doing was delivering goods, working, and a terrible accident happens, and now he's going to lose his life too. So, I think they really need to reconsider this and take not just 20 years off or something. Let's not be ridiculous about this. We need to take 110 years off.
Yeah.
Right? We need to make sure that this guy doesn't lose his life for this accident.
Yeah, this is such a I can't even believe that judge could get. I don't know. I'm baffled at this, and like you said, if he doesn't get say 1 to 3 years with maybe probation at the end, and I don't know, I don't even think he should be. Like I said, I don't think he should be able to be charged because he was doing his job. Yes, an accident happened, but it was because of a vehicle, the brakes, a vehicle malfunction. He wasn't driving. He tried to evade people. He drove onto the shoulder. There's not much you can do in a congested road with that type of vehicle. I don't know. That's kind of crazy. It's crazy. Can a train conductor get killed if his train wrecks and 27 people die, but he ends up living? You know what I'm saying? I hope not. But that's kind of what this seems like.
Yeah. Well, I guess we'll see what happens there. Yeah. Matrix Resurrections on a lighter note. Matrix Resurrections. Say that 20 times fast.
Woo!
Just came out, I want to say today.
Oh, my goodness.
Long anticipated. People have been talking about Matrix coming out with a new series, or not a new series, rather, but a new movie for the years now. So, long anticipated Matrix movie coming out. It looks promising.
It looks amazing.
It looks great.
It looks amazing. I haven't been trying to see too much, and I cannot wait to see what they do with Trinity, bringing the characters back, what they do with the storyline.
Yeah.
And I'm really, really hoping
My
that
boy Neo.
right, Neo's about to be getting it in. I mean, Chris, how long we fell in love with the Matrix
Yeah.
since the very first Matrix. I
Yeah.
mean, we have been watching them since they came out, been waiting for them. This is one of our favorite series. If anybody knows us, they know that. So, I mean, just super exciting. And I hope that when they say Matrix Resurrections, I hope that they're talking about Resurrection, the Matrix in general, so there's about to be more coming out, which I honestly think there will be. So
I mean, that would be pretty wild if they just started coming out with more and more Matrixes.
that's what I'm hoping for.
I mean, the Wachowski sisters, now they were
Yeah.
brothers, now they're sisters, and only one of them did it.
Yep.
Okay, so
Was it
I'm
Donna
curious
that did
to
it?
see. I'm not
did
sure
it?
which one did it, but I'm curious to see how it's going to hold up. You know, with just one of the kind of original minds, call it, behind the new Resurrections. You know,
Right.
is it going to hold kind of the same storyline? Is it going to completely twist into
Right.
maybe something that's almost feels new to the Matrix series?
I mean,
I'm not sure. You know, as you said, loved the Matrix since the very first one. The very first one is still my favorite Matrix to date.
Such a great movie.
So, you know, we'll see if this one can overtake, you know, the first one in terms of how good of a movie it was. And then maybe, you know, at that time when the first Matrix came out, if you
Yeah.
were living in that time and saw the movie originally, I mean, it was a movie that kind of broke barriers, you know, the
absolutely-
action that
It
was in it.
changed. It literally changed the way people were shooting action
Yeah.
movies. I mean, before the Matrix, the action movies were good, but I mean, after the Matrix came out, the action movies started to get just completely phenomenal. I mean, I'm so excited. I was actually talking to a friend on Facebook earlier about the Matrix. He was watching it when we were talking, and he was absolutely raving about it. He didn't give me any spoilers or say anything, but he was saying just like there's so much meaning and so many like little eggs that you can catch. He was like the dialogue. I mean, he said it was just phenomenal.
No, I mean, I think that it very well. I mean, it has the potential to overtake the first one with the, you know, as we spoke about with, you know, the new Spider-Man, the new CGI, the way that just movies are being shot better,
Right.
action scenes are better. I mean, everything that the Matrix is kind of built on can be better in a movie now in 2021. So,
yeah, I mean,
you know, you still got Keanu Reeves. They're bringing back some old actors. I'm sure we'll see new stuff. I mean, I don't know what to expect, but
the action
it's
is
going to be
probably
amazing. There's
going.
no way it's not going to be a blockbuster hit.
Yeah, the action in this one is probably going to just be unbelievable. Like, imagine the action scenes in this movie. They're going to
Yeah.
be phenomenal.
You think it's going to be better than the first one?
Well,
Is the first one your favorite?
I mean, I think the first one almost has to be your favorite because it's just so good and so revolutionary. There's just a story, just everything about it was just fantastic. I don't know, man. They're all really good. I can't even say that I like the first one the most almost because I like them all almost equally. That's how good they are.
Such a terrible answer.
It is. So I like
such a politician's answer.
they're so good. Like you can't have one without the other one, right? I mean it all
sure.
ties in. So they're all great. I'll say the first one probably has the edge in my heart though, because I mean it is the original, first of its kind. Could this one overtake it? It might.
Yeah.
It might. I mean, with the way CGI and everything, if they do the storyline right and they open up the world for maybe some new ones coming out, this could be like a new Star Wars almost or something. I don't know.
I guess we'll see. Tune in. I believe it's on HBO Max. If you have
Yep.
HBO Max, you can watch Matrix right now as you're watching this YouTube video. So hop on, you know, HBO, watch The
cannot
Matrix.
wait.
Comment your thoughts about it after you watch it. Let us
Yeah.
know what you think, and we're going to be seeing it tonight at the watch party. So
Yeah, cannot
I
wait.
cannot wait here for The Matrix tonight. But next on the agenda, Baby Yingliang.
Baby
Is
Yingliang.
it Yingliang or Yingling?
I think it's Yingliang, but maybe it's
Okay.
Yingling. I don't know.
Either way, preserved fossilized dinosaur egg discovered in China.
Yes.
It looks pretty awesome. I mean, it's like a complete embryo. There's bones in there. I mean, it
Yep.
almost looks like it's a baby bird realistically. If
Yeah.
you've seen kind of the, you know, the remastered photos, if you will.
I think
that
those were
have been-
drawing, re-illustrated.
Yeah, like a re-illustrated
Illustration,
drawing
yeah,
or
yeah.
a painting or something that
Yeah.
they have out there. They, you know, I'm sure if you've looked anything up on the store, you've seen it, but it looks pretty cool. And one of the things, I've always loved dinosaurs. Even when I was younger, I loved dinosaurs. Land Before Time, great freaking movie.
Fantastic.
Great movie, okay? So, dinosaurs are my thing. I actually took my daughter to 2 different dinosaur events now. Like a dinosaur, like Jurassic Park on ice or something like that.
Right.
And then also we just took her to, it was called Jurassic Quest.
She loved that. She loved that Jurassic on Ice.
Yeah, that she was loving
She
it.
probably loved the Jurassic Quest too, huh?
The Jurassic Quest was too completely different though. The Jurassic Quest was, they had life-size dinosaurs, like
live size, like real size,
like more not animated, but
like robotic
motorized.
Yeah,
and they would like move their tails and like stuff like that, which was cool. But it made me think like. At one time I was like, Jurassic Park would be cool. Let's just get these dinosaurs, let's throw them on an island. Like this with this fossilized dinosaur egg. Let's pull some of that DNA out, just like they did in the movie, and let's create some dinosaurs. That's what I was thinking when I first saw this headline: is we can finally create a Jurassic Park island. That's what I was thinking.
Oh wow!
And then I thought about when I went to Jurassic Quest with Mia, and I was looking at those dinosaurs.
How big are they?
They are, boy, they could eat you or me or any human in one bite, and it'd probably be like a little boneless wing.
A little boneless?
Maybe
like a little Cheeto.
Yeah, they don't even need the blue cheese. They don't need none of that. They just eat you up real quick. And I was like,
so that's probably not a good idea.
Probably not a good idea. It'd be pretty intense, I think, if we had to just consistently fight dinosaurs off. And they could probably step on house parts and break your house without... We'd have to have completely different fortitudes.
We're going to have to live underground at that point, in caves and such or something. So maybe in the sky. No, but then there's pterodactyls. No, that's not a good idea.
Yeah, and I guess that's one of the things in this egg is they were saying that it shows the link between birds and dinosaurs because of the way it was laying in the egg too. So I mean,
it was definitely pretty cool. It's a 70 million year old fossil. That's preserving an embryonic skeleton of a dinosaur. So a skeleton that's in the embryo in the egg, right? That's pretty much what it means. Yeah. And it's named baby Yingliang after the museum that it's held in China. Okay.
Okay.
So that's pretty cool. This is among one of the few embryonic skeletons found, but it stands out amongst the rest because, like you said, it's like the only one that has a complete skeleton that's preserved and in a life pose, they said. Yeah. So it's like this is like a one of a kind skeleton. I mean, and it's pretty awesome. Now, at first we were trying to discuss, is it real or fake? Because China, they do a lot of funny things. Yeah. China, they do some funny things. But I think it was real
propaganda over in China.
They love propaganda.
They'll throw some stuff out there.
And some of her trainers. And then she goes on nobody sees her for 2 weeks, right? So then everybody in the tennis commission and around the world, they're like, yo, China, where the hell is she? Like, show evidence that she's alive.
Oh, my goodness.
So then China posts something on Twitter with them eating some food together, like whatever. No. And then she retracts her statements talking about that she was never sexually assaulted.
Oh, my goodness.
So, I mean, I don't know. So China's the UK and Canada that discovered and were on the mission with the Chinese for this. So I'm going to say real. I believe the UK. I believe Canada 100%. Do I believe China? Not in the slightest.
So 2 out of 3. Yeah. Is that 75? 66%?
66%.
66% real. That the math?
We're real.
It's in our favor. It's real. I think it's real.
Thankfully for the UK and Canada.
So, Sean Combs is buying back his Sean John brand, $7.5 million. Everybody probably remembers Sean John. I remember Sean John, right? Baggy clothes, streetwear, graphic T-shirts.
Puff Daddy. Who don't remember Sean John?
Puff P. Diddy Combs.
P. Diddy Combs
Puff
popping
Daddy,
it out.
Papa Puffy D. However many nicknames he has, who knows? I'm not sure if Papa Puffy D was ever one.
That was one.
Sounded like it could have been one.
But you might have said that in the club one day when you were drunk, when you were hopped up on some Red Bull.
There we go.
Because we don't drink around here, right?
So, so anyway, so he's got streetwear. He thinks streetwear is making a comeback in fashion, which I can agree with that. I think that streetwear. I even see people kind of wearing the baggy, the oversized clothes, kind of the whole feel that Sean John was. I didn't love their whole graphics. That
honestly, too, I feel like to pivot and get away from maybe some of the original styles. I think what he's going to really try to do, honestly, what I think with this move, he's going to try to position himself more like a Kanye now, or a Kim Kardashian, where they're just like, you know, really breaking into the actual brand. I don't think, because in my opinion, Sean John was, I don't want to say cheaper, but it wasn't like a upscale. It wasn't like an upscale fashion brand. It wasn't like your Coach or your Gucci or, you know, something like that. So I personally think what he's going to do is I think he's going to go a little bit more up class with the brand switch. Yeah. I think he's going to go more like Kanye's doing with, you know, all his, you know, Yeezys and Adidas that cost, you know, $300, $400, $500. Right. I think that's where he's going to go. But I think it's a genius move. So, I mean, with the way fashion is going now and the way the digital industry is and how clothes sales are all online now, you don't have to have your own retail stores. You know, you can put a lot of stuff out, see what sells. I mean, I think it was a genius move for him. Honestly, I really do.
Yeah. No, I mean, I think you hit the nail on the head there saying he's kind of taking a page out of Kanye's book. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, you've seen all of these, you know, kind of famous people start their own almost fashion, even makeup lines. I mean, Kylie, which one was it that did the Kendall Jenner?
Yeah. No, Kylie Jenner.
Kylie Jenner creates $1 billion music or, you know, cosmetics brand. You just basically using her name. So, you know, I think that's kind of what he's doing is, you know, like you said, taking a book out of the Yeezy playbook here. You know, 7.5 million bought his brand back from, you know, Global Brands Group. And he said that he's going to hire some kind of new, you know, some futuristic thinking, like kind of fashionistas or like some, you know, brand designers and, you know, just, you know, revitalize the brand, bring in new people, you know, probably create, you know, oversized fashion, you know, like street urban wear like that we see right now, you know, going through the streets and kind of, you know, through the NBA and, you know, some of the different places you kind of see those fashionable, you know, kind of statements, you know, if you will. So I think that's exactly what he's going to do. I think it's a good move for him. I mean, you know, he makes a lot of money producing music. And, you know, even though you don't hear, you know, about Sean Combs too much, he's still,
I'm sure
he's doing his thing. And he's one of the highest paid musicians, you know, out there in terms of people that are creating and doing music. So he's got plenty of money to do. He's got plenty of influence.
For sure.
And I think this might get him more like in the front or, you know, like more in the people's eyes. Like where
especially
right now he's kind of a back end producer.
I think that's
he's going to come out front kind of like Kanye. He's probably going to find some, you know, young, cool people to rock his brand. And I think he's probably going to knock it out of the park.
I think you're onto something on that too, because you got to think about it. Sean Puff Daddy Combs is kind of the older generation. He's kind of the Tupac, Notorious B.I.G., that type of generation, which is not really in anymore. You know, the new kids are listening to Little Baby, Little Uzi Vert, and, you know, some of these other people. So I think you're absolutely right. That's going to be a way for Sean Puff Daddy Combs to get back into the limelight to where, you know, some of the younger generation starts really knowing his name more than they do now.
Yeah. And he made a comment saying that he wanted to, you know, this is just a way to, you know, build the legacy of Sean John. Right. So he obviously wants to put, you know, his name, his stamp on history in general, whether it be through music or through, you know, clothes or all the different things that he does.
Well, so he's even broken into the booze industry and all type. I mean, I'm sure he's got his hand in all types of pots that people don't even realize, to be honest.
So I think it's a good move. I think he'll probably make more money than 7.5 with it. And I think it's probably a good move for him. I'm curious to see what the clothes look like, you know, the redesign.
I'm pumped. I think it'll be dope.
You know, maybe I'll wear some Sean John here soon. You never know.
I think it'll be dope. I'm excited to see it too. I agree. I think it was a fantastic move. Next up, Keanu Reeves confirms talk with Kevin Feige about joining the MCU. Now, Kevin Feige. I think this is like completely amazing because, like I said, well,
who doesn't love Keanu?
I mean, who doesn't love Keanu? So much room to work with. They have so many different characters that they can spin off of. I mean, it's almost endless. Yeah. So I mean, and that's kind of what Keanu Reeves said. I saw he was talking about in an interview, and he said that. They asked Keanu if he would want to be a part of the MCU, and he said, "Isn't it bigger than a universe? It's almost like a multiverse. It's a Marvel verse. You know, it would be an honor some really amazing directors and visionaries, and they're doing something no one's really ever done. It's special in that sense, in terms of scale, the ambition, the
There we
production.
go.
So it would be cool to be a part of. I mean, who wouldn't want to be a part of the Marvel universe? I mean,
don't
it
know.
would be just
Who doesn't
amazing.
want Keanu in their movie, right? I mean, you'd have to be crazy to say that you don't want Keanu Reeves
And,
to be a part of your universe in terms of, if you were even the Avengers
Yeah.
or I don't know, he could probably
doesn't
play
matter.
anybody. So
yeah.
I'm excited. I love Keanu Reeves. We're about to watch The Matrix tonight, right?
That's what I'm
Keanu
saying.
Reeves.
He's
John
like
Wick is probably
he's-
one of the coolest action movies that has ever been created.
Right. I think Keanu Reeves has kind of like established himself at this point, almost in my opinion, as like the
A legend?
action legend of our
A
time.
legend.
Like,
And
he is
his story is
the
just
GOAT.
amazing. I mean, the dude's been, he'll sit there with a homeless actor. I mean,
For
I don't
sure.
know what they're.
If he took your movie role, you're still considered a very high actor, so you probably got another one.
True. Who do you? So let me ask you this. I mean, who would you like to see Keanu play in the MCU, or who do you think it's going to be?
We were talking to Jay, and Jay was thinking that he's going to play Adam Warlock.
Yeah.
So there's speculation on that. That would be pretty cool. I think it would be cool. Like, do I want to see him as a hero or a villain? I don't know. Because, I mean, everybody I think wants to say hero because you want him to be the good guy.
Keanu's not playing
But
no villain.
If he
There's no
played a
way.
villain, it would be he
There's
would
no
do
way
an
Keanu
awesome
Reeves
job.
is playing a villain.
So I don't know what I want to see. I think I'm more of a hero, or maybe like a character that swings both ways but doesn't really have a set path. You know what I'm saying? That would be cool.
A swinger.
A swinger, a Marvel swinger.
Okay.
We'll go with. So I don't know, but I'm excited. I hope they do this sooner than later, though, with Keanu entering the Marvel universe.
Yeah. And I'll just say this. I also was talking to Jay about who he might play in the MCU. And if you guys don't know, Jay's our producer. And there's nobody better to talk to about, MCU or Avengers or any of this stuff really than Jay. Okay? So he's my go-to anytime there's something I don't know about some characters. Jay, what's up, man? So, me and Jay were talking about this, okay? And we're thinking Adam Warlock would be awesome, like you said.
That would be cool.
But here's some other cool ones that you might not have thought of. MCU,
Yeah.
X-Men. He could
Jackman
as
back
Keanu.
then, yeah,
as much
that's-
as I love Keanu, Hugh Jackman's
Hugh-
Wolverine
he-
is a big.
Yeah.
There's some big shoes to fill following that, right?
Yeah,
So,
for sure, I agree with that.
and I think Keanu could do it though.
If anybody
can do it,
it's
it's Keanu.
Yeah, if anybody could do it, it's Keanu Reeves.
So we said possibly Wolverine. We said possibly Gambit. I think he'd be an
I love
awesome
Gambit.
Gambit. I always loved Gambit, and I think he always got like.
But
Let's call him the underdog because they always hated on Gambit.
Didn't
He was
they?
he's never been given the love or the movie that he really deserves.
Didn't
right?
they have a movie for Gambit though, or did it come
I
out?
don't-
Or
I'm not
going
sure.
to come out. I
Maybe
don't know.
they did. But if they had it,
know
I
they were
don't think it
talking
was.
about it.
I don't think it was very good. Maybe poorly casted. You know what I mean? Like that's goes right along with it. Not giving Gambit what he deserves, and that's Keanu Reeves. So I'd love to see him as Gambit.
That would be cool.
Wolverine would be badass. Adam Warlock would be awesome. Those are some of the different ones that you see out there for Keanu to play. Those are probably the three favorite that I would have.
Yeah,
Keanu, Gambit, Wolverine.
I was thinking Wolverine, but like I said, I don't.
Adam Warlock.
I don't. Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't know. I don't know how good.
I
And
think
Hugh
he'd be a
Jackman.
I think he'd
knocked
be
it
a
out the
better
park.
Gambit.
Hugh Jackman knocked it out the park. So I don't know. I would stay away from Wolverine if I was him personally.
I think he'd be a better Gambit, but we'll see.
Yeah. Well,
That's true. That's what. And Jay just brought up a good point. Hugh Jackman said he's no longer going to be Wolverine. So to get
Wow.
him back, it would be going against kind of his word here.
well.
So
yeah.
I mean, who can fill Hugh Jackman's shoes besides Keanu? I don't know. So it might have to be Keanu.
Maybe that might be true. But I think somebody could probably do it. Maybe. Not saying Keanu couldn't do it, because obviously Keanu can do whatever he wants. But I think it would be cool to give Keanu his own character.
Yeah,
Because I don't really want him attached
I think
to a
it's gotta be either
character
Gambit
that somebody else has.
Gambit or Adam Warlock. Then I guess
I want Keanu to have his own. When you think of this guy, I want you to think of Keanu Reeves. You know,
Yeah.
not Hugh Jackman. I love Hugh Jackman's Wolverine though. Like
Yeah,
Hugh
I
Jackman's one of the greatest actors of our generation, in my
agree.
opinion.
Yeah, Hugh's
So, I
great.
mean,
Wolverine was great. I mean, type in the comments here who you
Yeah,
want
who
to
do
see
you think?
Keanu.
Yeah,
as,
who do you
know,
think?
as an MCU character, we'd
Yeah.
love to hear your thoughts on who you would like to see Keanu be, or who you think he would play well in the MCU.
Right.
But that was our last topic here
That's
for the
it.
Chris and Ann show. So, if you haven't went and got the book, Sell More, Live More, go to Amazon.com, type in Sell More, Live More Sales Training. Go get you a copy of the book.
Get it.
It'll help you regardless if you think it will or not. So just go buy the book, show some support.
Absolutely.
Baby Yoda has the book.
Baby Yoda read the book.
Anthony has the book.
He read the book before. He actually read the book before he did the movie Mandalorian, which is why he was casted so well.
Good point. And I also heard that to become a Jedi, he had to read this book, and that was the final test.
That could be true, too. That could be true. But thank you, everyone, for joining us on our show today for the Chris and Ant Show. Until next time, we'll see you there.
We'll see you then.